Like many other ethnic groups like the Italians, the Irish, Germans fled to the U.S. These immigrants hoped to find freedom and were seeking a better life for their families. Although there is so much to say about German immigrants, we decided to narrow it down to three main topics. Starting with the food Germans brought over, breakfast, cafe, dinner, and dessert. Then the traditions they brought over. And lastly, we'll talk about German achievements, starting with achievers like Albert Einstein and Dr. Seuss.
Peaceful beaches, I frequently find myself thinking of Sneetches.
And then we'll get to even more achievements like the German language newspaper, which was the first newspaper to report the Declaration of Independence. Let's get started and learn about this amazing group of people and what they contributed to our society.
Have you ever wondered what foods came from Germany? Let's take a look at these foods, originating in Germany, which were brought to America by German immigrants.
For breakfast in Germany, they eat bread rolls, toast, sausages and cold cuts, cheese, boiled and fried eggs, muesli, and cereal.
The Germans also eat a meal that is similar to British tea time called café. This meal takes place between lunch and dinner, where Germans eat different types of yummy cakes with coffee, tea, and cocoa. One popular cake is called
Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte,
which is a black forest cake. A popular type of tea is called Ostfriesland too.
For dinner, the Germans mainly eat Wurstsalat, Restaurationsbrat, cheese varieties, and of course, sausages. Germans call sausage Wurst. There are more than 1,500 different types of Wurst. For instance, bratwurst is fried sausage made of ground pork and spices. Wiener sausage is sausage that is smoked and then boiled. Blutwurst and Schwarzwurst are both blood sausages. Berlin has a specialty currywurst, which is sausage with curried ketchup on the top. Bavaria has a specialty Weisswurst sausage, which is white sausage that you peel before eating it. Lastly, Nuremberg's grilled Rostbratwurst is served with fermented shredded cabbage known as sauerkraut.
For dinner, the Germans also eat Eintopf. It is a traditional German stew that literally means one pot. The ingredients are broth, some vegetables, potatoes or pulses, and then some meat, commonly pork, beef or chicken, or sometimes fish. One common dessert in Germany is apple strudel. This is a delicious pastry filled with apples flavored with sugar, cinnamon, and breadcrumbs. It has been popular since the 18th century. Apple strudel is made from elastic dough. It is served warm with powdered sugar or icing sugar on top.
Most people don't know how many traditions are originally from Germany. Without immigrants from Germany, there would have never been the Christmas tree or other memorable traditions we do every year. Let's explore some of the many traditions in America brought here by German immigrants.
That calendar that counts down the 25 days to Christmas is called the Advent calendar. And yes, those beloved countdowns are due to Germany. First printed in 1908, in Germany, these calendars feature chocolates and other candies per day that everybody loves. Speaking of a sweet tooth, Germans also brought over the gingerbread house. First featured in Hansel and Gretel, these holiday homes were available for purchase in 1893 in Germany. Another tradition that we owe to the Germans are nutcrackers. These figures originated as a small cottage industry in the wooded regions of rural Germany. The final Christmas tradition and most important that we owe to Germany is the Christmas tree. Back then in Germany, it isn't decorated until Christmas Eve with apples, candy, and candles. Let's move on to Easter traditions. Did you know the Easter Bunny has German roots? According to German legend, Ostera, the goddess of spring, saved a frozen bird by turning it into a rabbit. This rabbit could now lay eggs. The Germans also brought over the Easter egg hunt, which originated from southern Germany in the 1800s.
Many people don't know that many of America's most influential people were born in Germany or were of German descent, including important businessmen, scientists, and artists. America's development was impacted greatly by these significant German-American figures. Some of the most important German-American businessmen were William Boeing, founder of the Boeing Company, Walter Chrysler, founder of Chrysler Corporation, the Guggenheim family, founder of Guggenheim Foundation and Guggenheim Museum in New York City, and Milton Hershey, founder of the Hershey Chocolate Company. Some important German scientists were renowned scientist Albert Einstein and George Westinghouse, a pioneer of alternating current electricity. Some important German-American figures in literature and the arts are beloved children's author Dr. Seuss, Charles Schulz, creator of popular cartoon Peanuts, and cartoonist Thomas Nast, who created the pictures of Uncle Sam, Santa Claus, and the Republican and Democratic symbols that are common today. Many German immigrants also played patriotic roles in the development of our nation. First of all, a Philadelphia German-language newspaper was the first to report the Declaration of Independence. Additionally, German-born General Friedrich Wilhelm von Steuben trained civilians in Washington, D.C. into soldiers and led them into battle, which ultimately allowed them to defeat British troops. Finally, covered wagons built in Pennsylvania by German immigrants carried pioneers west.